So good evening, and we're back again inside the shed. As you would have saw in the previous video, we passed its MOT with flying colours, absolutely no advisories. However, we've got 3 lights that's on the dash, which I'll insert in the clip here, and you can see that it's the 3 of them. So one, we need to find out what that is. I think maybe I didn't do a good enough repair on there, or it's the 2 rear ABS sensors, because I've already checked the fronts. And also, I have issues starting the car, so we need to lower the car and the engine, onto these bolts, which you can see there. Sorry, I had a bit of a flood earlier in the week. We need to lower the engine onto them and get in behind and see, one, if the contacts on the starter motor are dirty, because we've already replaced the earth cable, and 2, maybe replace the starter motor, because I have actually ordered one from Smart Tune UK, I think it was. So first off, and again, let's take off all the windows and the lining and the boot innards and also the bumper. So let's go and do that just now. So it's been 30 minutes since the last clip. So I've got the wheels off, I've got the windows out and the innards here and the carpet. I've taken off the screws here, and I've taken off the screws down this bit here, and I only need to do under there and get this one's here on the tail lights, and then I'll be able to lift the tail lights out and the bumper. But all I can do is half an hour tonight, and then we'll come back tomorrow and do a little bit more. It's now the second evening, and I only managed half an hour yesterday, but the starter has now arrived. I don't know if I'm actually going to fit it yet, but I think if I'm going to the hassle of dropping the engine, I probably will, to be honest. So let's get cracking, get these lights out, get the screws under here out, and get this bumper gone so we can get access to everything else. So we've got the bumper off, and we're just away to start taking the bolts out and putting in the replacements. My shed did flood a couple of weeks ago, so they have got a bit wrecked from lying on the floor, but we'll go and get that done. And then what I'm kind of hoping is that I don't have to take the coolant hoses, but it says online that I have to at the good old Evolution directory. So yeah, we'll go and see what we can do. So I've got the engine lowered, still got the air conditioning lines on just now, but I can see I'm going to have some great difficulty getting in and about. Had to take the handbrake off, and I think while it's down, I might as well do something with that to save, because it's obviously leaking that I didn't notice before. I'm just watching a bit of Johnny Smith doing a podcast. Under trays are off as well, so I will probably have to take the coolant pipes off to get access, and we'll see what we can do. So we're back where we left off a few days ago, and what I'm going to do is disconnect these coolant hoses and also the air conditioning pipes, just to give me a little bit more access, and to drain it, there's a drain plug underneath, so we'll get the car lifted up and get that done. So it's plug out, but don't forget to undo the coolant lid and let it out. So that's the coolant drained, got the plug back in so I don't lose it, and I'm just away to literally take the air conditioning pipes off, and then we'll get the coolant. That's the air conditioning pipes off, as well as the coolant hoses, and you can see that's the starter there, and it appears that there's still a few things I've got to take off. I've had a look at the Evolution website. It says if it's got an aircon pump, which is here, this will have to go as well, and this will have to go. So this job, again, with all roadsters, is becoming a lot bigger than what I was kind of hoping. Yeah, I don't understand why they couldn't have put the starter the other way, or made it easier or something. It's just a bit of a pest. But hey, let's just crack on and get this done. But I'm going to have a look underneath, because I don't quite understand what's holding this on. I think it's this bolt here. I'm going to look at back some photos that I took when the engine was out, and we'll figure something out. Because I'm quite lazy, I took this pipe off here, this one, and I can now see the top of the contacts for the solenoid for the starter. And when I took this off, you can see how green it is. So first, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a bit of emery paper. I'm going to disconnect these bolts. I don't know if you can see, past my fingers. I'll use a screwdriver. These ones here and these ones here, and sand them down and use a bit of electrical contact cleaner and see if maybe I can get off with just that. And I've also dropped a screw, I don't know if you can see it, down there. And I'll also clean up this one. I've actually got a spare earth cable somewhere, and I am thinking of maybe putting a second earth on this car. I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing, but I am thinking about boring a second one in. Right, so I've cleaned up all the connections, took them off and put them back on. Also, on the alternator, I noticed that this cable was actually loose. So I've tightened that up, and this is actually goes to the starter. So hopefully that has an effect. And I've just dropped the camera, and I've also cleaned up this connection here as well. But as I mentioned, I'm going to see about putting a second earth cable on once I find the other one. So let's connect the battery and see what happens. Whilst connecting the battery, I've also noticed that this is a bit rusty, so I'm going to take this off and give that a bit of a check over as well. And somebody's obviously taped it before, so I'm going to take this off and see what is going on under there, because that might be one of the problems that we have. Well, this ain't exactly going to be helping our cause either, so I'm glad that I noticed that, so we'll get that cleaned up. So that's all cleaned up. You can see fresh copper under there. So we'll get her opened up and see if it starts better. Obviously I can't run it for long because I don't have any coolant in it. So it's still doing exactly the same. Okay, well that was a waste of time, but at least we checked the easy option. So the only thing I want to do is maybe put an earth cable on somewhere, just to see if it starts better. So I've got some electrical cable lying about here, so we'll get that on somewhere and see. And we'll see what we can do. Like I say, I do have a spare cable here, but we'll connect this to something random and see if we can get some conductivity. Right, so I've got the cable connected to an exhaust clamp and just touching the bracket there, see if it helps. I really doubt it, to be honest. Now, was that just a coincidence or did that actually help? The only way to check it is by putting an amp meter across it to see if it's drawing anything. So let's go and do that just now. So the car is still having the same problem even after cleaning up that connectors. So it definitely means that I'm going to have to just bite the bullet and remove what is needed to get the new starter in, which I'm a little bit gutted at, but so we'll just carry on, and I'm going to take a bit of a break, and we'll have a go at it again tomorrow.